Welcome back or welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Magpie for those of you that don't know. Today I want to talk about being an artist while also having a 9-to-5 job. I wanted to discuss how I, as an artist in this position, try to balance this art and work. Some of the things that have helped me stay consistent and some things that have helped me continue to improve even though my time to practice seems to be going down. If you're also an artist and you're struggling to make time for art and want some tips and tricks that may help you find some time for what you love, please sit back and listen along. When it comes to studies, these are so important for your improvement and development as an artist. It can be so hard to find motivation to do repetitive studies when you have ideas for pieces that you want to finish. I like to blend my ideas and projects into studies. I think I've said before that I approach every drawing more as an experiment than just following my normal sketching to rendering flow. Nothing wrong with it if you do follow a repetitive process. I think having a style is the norm. Personally, I get bored of following the same rendering techniques over and over again. Trying new things gives you the opportunity to learn. Of course, ideally you have time for your drawing projects and studies, but this is for artists with very little time, or even if you're just a less motivated artist. My biggest piece of advice, make your art multi-purpose. This is what I do. For example, if I want to make an illustration of my OC, I think of something I want to practice, like perspective, anatomy, color theory. Once I have an idea of what I want to study, I move forward, looking for how I can implement that into my drawing. For perspective, maybe I want to try a more ambitious pose. For anatomy, maybe I want to try a more clear and defined pose, where it is easy to separate the limbs and identify muscle groups. For color theory, maybe I want to limit myself to a more extreme color palette to define values and see if I can make it still look right. I find when I challenge myself like this is when I get my best pieces, and I have the bonus of feeling satisfaction and motivation knowing that I'm improving, even if it's harder to see. At least for me, the most motivating thing is struggling to make something and still being able to do it. This leads me to my next point about curiosity. One of the biggest traps I fell into, especially after seeing what I was capable of when pushing myself, was needing to keep showing those high-effort results every time I drew. Art felt less and less fun. It felt like a chore, intimidating. I got scared of blank canvases. Now I realize that I don't need to hold myself to those high standards. It's okay to draw something messy and silly. Not every drawing needs to be a study. Think of when you exercise. If you exercise the same muscles every day without rest, you will actually do more harm than good. So you need rest days. Have silly ideas that you can work on as well. And when you are studying or pushing yourself, don't push yourself to make every line perfect or to pick every perfect color. Making it exist is enough. If you want to improve it, you can always come back and add to it later, or you can start a second attempt. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. A mindset change that really helped me was realizing I didn't need to judge myself. I was and still am learning. I should get excited to learn. Think about young students. They get excited to learn about the world, math, art, languages. If they get some things wrong, they just keep trying. Or an even better analogy, when you're playing a video game and you lose in a level, you start again. Why do you do that? Because you're having fun. You're learning new strategies. Drawing is a lot like that for me. Every minute can feel valuable when you have little to no time. But if you hit a wall with your art, let yourself take a break. Whether that is taking a break until the next day or just setting a timer so you can step away and come back refreshed. When you're working or in school all day and you feel like you have no energy, listen to your brain and your body. Let yourself relax. If you keep working, you might burn yourself out or make it harder for you to keep drawing. If you need more justification to take a break so you don't feel guilty, you will lose more time with burnout if you do not take a break. There have been times where I have not been able to draw for months, sometimes even a year. So you're not wasting your time by taking a break. You are making it easier to use your time in the future. If you've taken long breaks for weeks or days at a time and you don't have burnout, you just don't have motivation, I would push you to see if you could draw one thing, even if it's silly. Draw one thing for 5 to 15 minutes. If you feel like you have the energy to continue and you're having fun, keep pushing. But if you feel like you don't have the energy to continue, listen to yourself and take a break. This one is so important if you're super busy and rarely have time for your passions or hobbies. If you have an idea, take a few minutes to jot it down. You might think, I'll remember that, or I see it so vividly in my head. At least I have thought those things. But writing down your ideas in a small notebook or in a notes document if you prefer digital journaling, when you do have time to draw or create, you will have a list of options to choose from. This will help you not have to work so hard to get started. You won't have to think, what should I draw? You will be able to just pick from your list and get started. I love lists, especially checklists. I have a problem. There are very few things more satisfying to me than checking off items from a list. To my previous point, the second half of this advice is to save references before you sit down to draw. I can't tell you how many times I have sat down to draw, decided what to draw, then started searching for references. Then an hour, maybe 2 hours have passed, and I have nothing drawn, I've gathered a ton of references, or I've forgotten why I started searching for references in the first place, because I got distracted by shapes and colors. What I've done to help myself with this is I built a board where I save all of these different types of study references. I have it broken down between different textures, poses, perspective, nature, human-made structures, and animals. So I have a little library of references. This lets me open Pinterest, jump straight into that board, and find one of the cool poses I've already saved, and other aspects that I want to add to my drawing. And I can just get started. Remove resistance when you do have time to draw. I hope this helps. Those are some things that I do as an artist with very little time. Having a time-consuming hobby that you love so much can be really, really hard, especially when it's something that you're extremely passionate about, or that you want to turn into something that you can do full-time. These are some small steps that you can take that already have helped me stay more consistent, even though sometimes I do miss my post deadlines that I put on myself. I also want to hear about any tips and tricks maybe that have helped you guys in the past. If you think of anything and you feel like sharing it, please do so. I would love to hear about it. I love finding new ways that I can make time for this because I really do enjoy doing it. Thank you for joining me today. If you like the videos or if you find them interesting, you could, you don't have to, but you can. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
You are making it easier.
Easier? What? What?
You can always come back and improve to it later. What?